is CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Naja Sherman, and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories. Off the top, we are tracking the tropics and the growing threat to the Caribbean. The National Hurricane Center has issued advisories on our next possible tropical storm. Next, Weather Chief Meteorologist and Hurricane Specialist Ivan Cabrera joins us with the look ahead.
All right, Naja, yeah, good to see you. This is going to be a hurricane and perhaps even a major hurricane in the eastern Gulf of Mexico. It is going to make landfall, likely somewhere across the Panhandle of Florida. It's just in its initial stages, and because it's only 3 days away, the National Hurricane Center does this. They call it a potential tropical system, just so they can get the advisories and the word out that something is coming. Now, for us, this is not going to be a direct threat, but we will get some pretty good action out of it as a form of very heavy rainfall and some flooding. There is a center of circulation. Hurricane hunters are flying into this thing and to let us know, perhaps by 5 p.m., if we have a tropical depression, a closed low, and then we can talk about the impacts here across South Florida. There is the cone of uncertainty, right? It's going to go away from us and then towards us, and there is Tampa in the eastern side of the cone. Remember, the cone just the center, the eye of what will be a hurricane, where it passes. East of the center is where we're going to get the weather, and that's going to be in the form of some heavy rainfall. I think for us, that's going to be the main threat. A flooding event here for Tuesday, nothing. For Wednesday, by the middle part of the day, we're going to start getting those bands and continuing into Thursday. So a next alert for both Wednesday and Thursday, and residual tropical moisture for Friday as well. I don't think we'll have to worry too much about damaging wind potential, but we are going to get likely, certainly across the Keys, tropical storm force wind gusts. Tornado threat is going to be there. Anytime you have a cyclone like this, a spinning storm, you're going to get that threat. I don't think it's going to be, super high, but it is going to be present for us. And then, of course, not a big storm surge threat because the center is going to stay well away from South Florida here. So there is the cone, and here's the timeline here. This is where we are now. I'll put this in motion and be able to see there's just not much there through the day on Tuesday. So folks in the Panhandle have plenty of time to prepare, or at least a couple of days. They're not going to be surprised by what's coming. The word is certainly getting out as we speak. There are the bands coming through that'll impact us beginning Wednesday. These bands are going to continue to fan in. There is the Hurricane Helene. By the time we get into Wednesday night, it will continue pushing to the east. That is about as close as we want to see something like this, because the impacts will be minimal as far as wind compared to what's going to happen up towards the Panhandle. So again, for tomorrow, no issues here. We're going to have dry conditions just like today, so that's not going to be a problem. It's really Wednesday and continuing to Thursday where we're going to have to deal with heavy rain at times, some localized flooding. Next alert for both days, and then improving conditions, but still plenty of rainfall on tap for Friday and into the weekend. Stay tuned for that 5 p.m. update coming up on CBS Miami at 5 o'clock.
Either, thank you. Now to a developing story. A car left dangling in danger in Coral Gables. You could see a white Porsche SUV hanging off the wall of a parking garage. CBS News Miami's Peter Dinch is on the scene with what is happening right now.
This all happened around 9:15 this morning here in Coral Gables, and there were some scary moments for the woman who was inside the car. Before we take a look at some video, let's go to the scene here. Take a very good look at this. You see the white car behind this tree perched precariously, still dangling from the parking garage. Now let's take a look at some video from Chopper 4. You see the vehicle hanging out of the third floor of this parking garage at 1500 San Remo Drive, not far from Merrick Park. Coral Gables Fire Rescue Division Chief Xavier Jones told me the woman somehow hit the accelerator instead of a brake. It crashed into and through a wall. Chief Jones said this could have had some very serious consequences.
She's got very lucky today that when the car came out of the wall, that it landed into a tree.
How long was she up there before she was rescued?
We were able to rescue her in probably about 20-30 minutes. We had a firefighter that was lowered by a rope into the vehicle, and then we rescued her from there.
Must make you feel good. May have saved a life.
It was amazing work by the Coral Gables Fire Department in collaboration with the City of Miami.
I saw the woman being rescued. They came down, the firefighter, they put a ladder up to the top, and then they hoisted him down, and then he took her from the side.
When you saw that, what did you think?
Whoa, that's a cool guy. Like, I was very impressed with him.
That woman was hanging on there. What did you think when you saw it?
It was scary. I can't imagine being in her situation.
Those two ladies we spoke with are seniors at the University of Miami. They were here for a broadcast journalism project. Now, fire, rescue, and police sealed off the street. We are told that the woman, who's in her 50s, is going to be okay, but she was taken to a hospital as a precaution. We'll have much more in this story coming up in an hour at 5. In Coral Gables, Peter Dench, CBS News, Miami.
Another developing story. The suspect arrested in connection with the second assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump was back in federal court in South Florida today. Today, the Justice Department revealed this note. Prosecutors say it was written by Ryan Ruth about his intention to kill Trump. We are also learning the suspect had a list of dates where Trump was expected to appear. CBS News Miami's Joan Murray is in West Palm Beach with the latest developments.
Here at the federal courthouse in West Palm Beach, we are learning so much from federal investigators about what the accused gunman was doing in the weeks and months ahead of the time he arrived here in Palm Beach County, including a list of the dates and places the former president would be visiting through the months of August, September, and October. Ryan Ruth back in federal court a week after his arrest for what federal agents say was an assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. In new court documents, we've learned the former president was on the 5th hole of Trump International on Sunday, September 15th. A Secret Service agent was scouting the 6th hole. That's when he said he saw a man pointing the barrel of a rifle through the woods at him, and the agent fired. The gunman fled. Investigators say they found a rifle loaded with 11 rounds and a round in the chamber. The serial number on the gun was unreadable. The backpack and shopping bag had plates capable of stopping small rounds of ammunition. We're also learning about the alleged movements and motives of the suspect. In the Nissan SUV Ruth was driving after running from the golf course, in addition to having plates belonging to another vehicle, investigators say they found 2 additional license plates, 6 cell phones. On one of the phones, information on a route from Palm Beach County to Mexico, 12 pairs of gloves, and a handwritten list. Investigators say Ruth had traveled from Greensboro, North Carolina to West Palm Beach on August 14th. Then, from August 18th through September 15th, cell phone records show he was checking out Trump International Golf Course in Mar-a-Lago. Agents say a witness turned over a box that had a handwritten letter from Ruth addressed to the world. In that letter, Ruth is said to have said, "This was an assassination attempt on Donald Trump, but I failed you. It is up to you now to finish the job, and I will offer $150,000 to whomever can complete the job." It was a long hearing in federal court. We're going to have all of that coming up beginning at 5. In West Palm Beach, Joan Murray, CBS News, Miami.
Now at 4, a dispute over music turns deadly at a Fort Lauderdale restaurant. CBS News Miami's Morgan Reiner has this report.
Police confirm for us that the shooting started with an argument in the restaurant right behind me. While police have not identified the victim to us, they did tell the family, and the family told us they are heartbroken.
Around 1:30 Monday morning, an argument broke out at Antojitos Mexicanos.
There was 2 guys, and they got into argument because one of them played a song.
Mauro Bonilla frequents the restaurant. His friends inside at the time of the argument said one customer was not happy with the song selection on this jukebox.
Kind of was pissed off and saw the guy and say, "Hey, you know, you're not Mexican, you're not real Mexican because you're playing that."
Bonilla said the argument escalated even further.
The guy who got insulted pulled his weapon and started shooting to the other guy. Didn't give him a chance.
The victim's brother spoke to us.
I heard it was over a song, but that's all I know.
He came to the restaurant looking for his brother Socorro Camacho, but police told him it's most likely his brother that died at the restaurant.
I hope they catch the person who killed him.
The manager of the restaurant told me the shooter ran away. Fort Lauderdale police said they have not made any arrests.
Fort Lauderdale police told us that is all the information they can give us at this time, that this is an ongoing investigation. I'm live in Fort Lauderdale. Morgan Reiner, CBS News, Miami.
The man who police say ran down his ex-wife, killing her, faced a judge today. 32-year-old Edwin Amaya was denied bond. He is charged with premeditated murder. Police say it happened Saturday night in Pompano Beach. It was in front of a crowd of people. Hernandez Amaya was out to dinner with a group when she was hit and killed. Her family is now trying to raise money. It is to send her body to Honduras to be buried. Now to a developing story. The Lebanese health minister announced 274 people have been killed in ongoing Israeli strikes. More than 1,000 others were hurt. It is the latest in a series of attacks aimed at the militant group Hezbollah. It comes after Hezbollah fired dozens of rockets into northern Israel over the weekend. That includes at least one that exploded in a residential neighborhood. New developments in the race to the White House. What a new poll reveals about how close the race is between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris when we come back. Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. With just 43 days until Election Day, the latest nationwide CBS News poll shows Vice President Kamala Harris has edged up slightly over former President Donald Trump. Though it is still anybody's race, the two are reportedly tied in key battleground states. Harris may be benefiting from a surging stock market and falling interest rates. Yesterday, Harris once again challenged Trump to a second debate. But with a month and a half left in the race, Trump insisted there's no time.
Join me on the debate stage. Let's have another debate. There's more to talk about.
It's too late to do another. I'd love to in many ways, but it's too late.
Today, former President Donald Trump is returning to the battleground state of Pennsylvania, while Vice President Kamala Harris spends the day in Washington with no campaign events scheduled. And a reminder, you have 14 days to register to vote in the November election. The deadline in Florida is October 7th. To find out what you have to do to register to vote, just go to our website at cbsmiami.com. And that's your CBS News Miami Quickcast. I'm Naja Sherman. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami, and have a great day.